Do you want more leads? Do you hate cold calling? Well, this is the 5th video in our 6-video series on how you can get more leads with no cold calling. That's right, more leads, no cold calling. Video 5, networking is working for leads. It's fantastic. And we're going to show you how you can put together a system for networking to get you more leads with no cold call prospecting ever. There are 3 things that you'll discover in today's video. You'll discover why group networking is way better than one-on-one networking and why I never recommend one-on-one networking to anybody who wants to build a big business. The second thing you'll discover are the types of groups you should belong to. People sometimes go out and join a lot of different groups. Sometimes people join all the groups they can, and that's a mistake. And we'll talk to you about the types of groups you should join, what works and what doesn't. The third thing you'll discover is how to make networking work for you. What do you do to make sure that you use these groups to their maximum effectiveness? Then there's something at the bottom of this slide right here. You see it there, the secret networking strategy. At the very end of our time together today, at the very end of this session, I'm going to reveal to you a strategy that I've never shared with anyone here on YouTube before related to networking. That's right, I'm going to share my secret networking strategy that I always have my clients do, but I've never shared publicly before, so you're going to want to stick with me to the end of this video. I want to remind you that my name is Dave Lorenzo, and this is the Dave Lorenzo Daily. We're here every day with a brand new sales tip and a strategy for you to grow your business. So if you're just joining us for the first time, this is the 5th video in a 6-video series, so I'm glad that you're here. Be sure and go back and watch the other 4 videos that came before this one and the video that comes after this, but make sure you hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell, because every day at 5 p.m. we release a brand new video on sales. I want you to be a member of our community. I want you to join us all the time, and I'm really glad you're here. Thanks for being here. Let's talk about one-on-one networking versus group networking and why I love group networking and I hate one-on-one networking. One-on-one networking is when you target somebody and you say, hey, let's go to lunch, and then you have a great lunch and you exchange business cards and nothing ever happens. That's one-on-one networking. You invest a lot of time in going to the lunch, you invest a lot of time at the lunch, and then you invest time getting back to your office after the lunch, and nothing really ever comes of it. So the one-on-one situation is not ideal for someone who's looking to grow a business. The only time it works is when that one person refers you $1 million worth of business. And candidly, I can count on one hand the number of times I've seen that happen. Group networking, however, is when you expose yourself to 25, 35, 2,500, 3,500 people who are members of a group or association, and you make that work for you because you become famous to those 2,500 or 3,500 people. And we're going to talk about how you can do that today. And that's the difference between one-on-one networking and group networking. Let's move into the different types of groups. Let's look at the different types of groups you can join in order to make networking work for you. Join me as I shrink down into my box once again. All right, here you see the groups, the types of groups you can join. There's 5 of them up there, and we're going to cover each of them and the benefits to you for joining these groups. The first is an industry group. Now, when I say an industry group, I mean an industry that your clients are in. I don't mean the industry that you're in. I mean the industry that your clients are in. Let's say you sold medical devices. You would want to join an industry group that was full of doctors. That's the type of group that would pay off for you from a networking perspective. The second type of group that you see over here are peer education groups. This is a group of people who are just like you. So if you're a lawyer, you join your state bar association or one of your local bar associations. Now, peer education groups are not my favorite types of groups because they're not full of people who are going to be your ideal clients, and you're going to invest a lot of time. So I'd rather have you invest the time in a group that's going to contain a lot of clients. The way that peer education groups pay off for you is if you are a leader of one of those groups and you have a subspecialty that only a couple of people in your industry are able to do. So I'll give you the example that I use all the time, and that is my friend Brian, who is a Florida bar ethics lawyer. He works in Florida. There are over 90,000 lawyers in Florida. And of the 90,000 lawyers in Florida, there are 5 or 6 who are eminently qualified to handle ethics complaints against lawyers. So when Brian joins a group of lawyers, he's probably the only person in that group who can help them with ethical issues. So that is a fantastic opportunity for him. If you have a unique niche market and you can get referrals from the people who are your peers, then a peer education group is for you. If you don't, avoid peer education groups. The third type of group is a civic association, a civic group like the Rotary Club or Kiwanis or the Lions Club. These groups serve the community. These groups exist to help the local community. Your first priority when you join these groups is to fulfill the mission of the group. It's not to develop business. So I'm not a huge fan of civic groups. I like them because they give back to the community, and you should join the groups to give back to the community. And if you do the things I'm going to talk about in the next segment, you'll be able to develop business, but that's not your main focus. Similar to the civic group is the charitable group. So this is a charity that exists to raise money and do good works for specific groups or causes. Again, don't join a charitable organization specifically for business development purposes. Join a charitable organization because you believe in the mission and the purpose of the charity. Business will come, but it's not the highest and best use of your time for business development purposes. Invest that time in the charity because you believe in the charity, and we'll talk about how you can get business from it, but that's not the main purpose. The final group is called structured networking groups. These are groups like BNI, Business Network International, or there are other groups in specific industries. For example, the Geneva Group, GGI, which a lot of lawyers and CPAs belong to. That's a structured networking group for lawyers and CPAs who work with high net worth individuals. There is a specific structure to the organization. There are rules for how you do business together, and they create an environment that is conducive to building business relationships. Structured networking groups are great, but you have to pick the right group. You have to make sure the people who are going to be in the room with you are people who, number one, know how to refer, and number two, are willing to introduce you to the contacts that they have. So those are the different types of networking groups that you can join, and I encourage you to explore all of them, but the most productive are going to be the industry groups and the structured networking groups. Those are going to be the most productive for you. If you're involved in other groups, peer education groups, civic groups, and charitable groups, I encourage you to use the system we've outlined, but be very careful about how you develop the business, because those are not groups that are designed for the purpose of sales and revenue growth. All right, now let's talk about how you make networking work for you. And I'm going to talk about the group dynamic, and then I'm going to talk about referability habits, and then I'm going to talk about how you can teach other people to refer you. First is the group dynamic. You need to walk into a room full of people who are ready, willing, and able to refer you. That's why I like industry groups and I like structured networking groups, because both of those groups, their mission is to help you grow your business. The second thing you need to understand is that you need to be referable. A gentleman by the name of Dan Sullivan, he's the founder of Strategic Coach. He created what's called the referability habits. And there are 3 referability habits that I like very much that I give Dan full credit for developing. The first is, if you want to be referable, you have to show up and be on time. Show up and be on time. So you can't expect to get referrals from a networking group if you don't attend the meetings. It's common sense. Maximize the opportunity by being there early. The second thing is be polite. say please and thank you. It is amazing to me that we teach our children to be polite, yet we do not adhere to that philosophy ourselves. Say please and thank you. Always say please and thank you. The third referability habit is no gossip. No gossip. Do not speak ill of another member of the group. If something happens and the group doesn't work out for you, or something happens and a member of the group does something that aggravates you, handle it individually with that member, but don't gossip about anyone else in the group. And here's the reason why. If you gossip about me to someone else, that person is going to wonder what you're saying about them, and they're going to be less likely to refer you and less likely to be around you. They don't want to be around people who are talking about other people because they believe that you'll find something negative about them to tell other people about. So those are the 3 referability habits. Now, let's talk about how you teach people to refer you. I focus on having an external orientation in everything I do, and I want you to have an external orientation, focus on delivering value to the other person first in order to develop relationships. This is true in a networking setting. So when you join a networking group, you connect with someone in the networking setting. If you want to get business from them, the first thing you need to do is refer something to them, because you're doing 2 things when you refer business to them. The first thing you're doing is you're demonstrating your external orientation. You're showing them that you care about them. The second thing you're doing is by referral, you're teaching them how to refer you. So for example, if you want to be connected with potential clients via email, then send an email to the person you want referrals from, connecting them with someone else. And when they're ready to refer you, they'll do it by email. If you'd prefer to be connected by telephone, then call the person up, set up a 3-way call, and put the referral on the phone and connect them via telephone. Then when that person goes to refer you, you'll get a telephone call. If you prefer to receive your referrals in person, take the person you're referring, drag them by the collar into the other person's office, sit them down, and make the introduction. Or schedule a meal time. Bring the other person, sit them down, and make the introduction. Here's what I've learned over the years. In-person introductions work out 85 to 90% of the time. This is really important, so I want to make sure I say it again. In-person introductions result in business or a really good opportunity at attracting business 85 to 90% of the time. So in-person introductions, if you can pull them off, are the way to go. Let's move into our bonus topic now, the final thing that I promised you, and that's the secret networking strategy that works phenomenally well. The secret networking strategy is develop your own networking group. That's right, develop a networking group that is exclusive to you and the people you know or you have in your community. In the last video we made in this series, we talked about how you can leverage LinkedIn and leverage YouTube to grow your network. Once you have a really solid network, you can create a group that meets quarterly or monthly, and that group will be your community of people who refers business to you. Now, the mission of the group is not specifically to refer business to you. The mission of the group is to help everyone grow through passing referrals. So you teach people how to refer business to you, you teach people how to refer business to one another, then you invite people to be part of your community that exists specifically for referral purposes. That is an amazing strategy, and I've seen groups of 10 people result in hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars in business over the years. I've seen groups of 25, 30 people that have resulted in transforming the careers of people who are independent sales professionals. And then I've seen people who are really, really focused on this strategy and really ambitious develop a group of people that's over 100 folks strong. They're the only person in that group who does what they do, and it's resulted in tens of millions of dollars a year to their business. You can develop your own networking group easily, but you have to be able to put in the work and you have to know the structure. If this is something that you're interested in, if you want to develop your own networking group and realize hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars as a result, reach out to me. Give me a call. I do this with my clients all the time. You're going to need a little bit of money to start this up, but the process is brain dead simple once I show you what to do. If you're willing to put in the work and invest the time, you need to invest about 6 months to a year in developing this networking group. It will be worth tens of thousands of dollars at the beginning and then hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars to you on an annual basis. Reach out to me, call me in my office, and I will help you create a networking group that will result in business for you, and it'll be yours. It's your own proprietary networking group. You set the rules, you control who gets in. It is a beautiful thing. So this has been the 5th video in a 6-video series on no cold call lead generation. It is a prospecting system that everybody loves. I hope you enjoyed our time together as we talked about networking. I want you to join me again in the 6th of 6 videos. The next video, we're going to talk about strategic alliance partnerships and how they're the fastest way to new business. I can't wait to see you in the next video. Until then, I'm Dave Lorenzo. This is the Dave Lorenzo Daily. I hope you do this and sell more.